just like the growth between my legs, stranger things are happening.
Welcome back to Stuck in a Side Quest podcast. This week we're going to be talking about Stranger Things, and we're not just talking about Tyler's skin tag, Pete, but we are going to talk about season 1. Anyways, how do y'all feel about Stranger Things? Specifically season 1. Like, I know we've all seen the Stranger Things, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watched
He's
it,
seen
Trevor?
season 1.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He hasn't gotten to the real juicy bits.
I remember when I first watched it when it first came out. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
It's gotten way better.
Yes.
But Winona Ryder's character was kind of like Joyce Byers, the mom.
Yes.
She was like borderline so much that I was like, she makes me not want to watch this show in season 1.
Really?
Yeah. She
Yeah,
was
that's
kind of
weird.
I had
like
the
too
same.
crazy.
I felt a little different.
Yeah, I didn't. I liked her in that.
I liked
In
how
the first
crazy
one.
she went.
I mean, it's about her kid.
I was-
Yeah, I mean, I
fucking
guess you're
insane,
right.
too.
I was the same with the first season. I watched the first season when it came out, and I watched the whole first season, and then it took so long, or I don't know, was it like
It
a
took a
year?
minute for season 2.
Or until season 2 came out. But by that point, I was already like into like 12 other shows, and I went to try to watch it, and
It starts
wasn't.
off a
It
little
wasn't
different
like.
season 2, but we'll talk about that next time.
That's the thing where, like at the end of season 1, like Will gets. I mean, we're gonna get into this, but Will gets saved, and it's like
You think
now
that's the end?
season 2 is gonna be something like totally different, and it just was. It didn't catch me until we were at we were on vacation, and she was like, "Let's watch Stranger Things." So I rewatched first season and then actually got into it. Made it to the first couple episodes of the second season, and
then we
like a
finished it.
week later, we finished the whole thing in the new season. I was like, "Holy crap!"
I hadn't watched season 1 until since I first watched it, and so I watched a recap not too long ago, and yeah, just watching the recap. I guess all the seasons had started blending together, but I
Yes.
do agree that like not much happens. I mean, it's not that not much happens,
The
but it's
story
like it's
begins.
just the Will story and the Demi Gorgon
they-
and stuff like that.
But it's like the first season, they have to introduce everybody.
right. But it's like, after seeing the rest of it, you're like, oh, this season.
feel like that's how it is.
It felt like the whole
Yeah.
first season was a pilot.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say. Like, but it's pretty good. I mean, I like the story of it. I mean, it is what it is. It is just like you said, kind of feels like a pilot. But
I mean, I'm going back to when I first watched it and didn't know anything about any other seasons. I really like the vibe of it, like with the synth and when is it set in?
The 80s.
The 80s. The 80s, and then
The nostalgia.
right when I was getting into Dungeons and Dragons, that started, and the like big thing is Dungeons and Dragons.
hell yeah.
So that like also hooked me, which I feel like Dungeons and Dragons blowing up and then that show, it kind of like they happened at the same time, around the same time. So because it like some people even contribute Stranger Things is to like making them play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
So
I think that
I was playing it before, but
no, you're
like,
probably right. It
that
probably
like
did.
kind of hooked
I
me, and then
think-
like the Demigorgon, like you have it's not the same thing, but they're using like terms from it, and like that's when Dungeons and Dragons like first edition, like in the 80s, is when it started and everything. So
Yeah, I put on here I was going to talk about our thoughts on mainstream media possibly reviving the game of D&D and making it cool again.
I don't think it revived it, but I
it
think
helped it.
I think it
yes.
helped it too.
I think one of the big reasons it's had a big revamp recently is because of Stranger Things, and
Yeah, it's one of the reasons. Like Stranger Things, Critical Role, and then there's probably like one or two other things that popped up, and they all kind of like came together almost. Like you can like connect the dots with all of them. And they all is what made everybody start
They've
playing.
had-
Dungeons
Well, it's
and
like
Dragons.
D&D
Huge
isn't
revamp.
just for the nerds anymore. Everyone's playing D&D
Yeah.
now.
Well, all the
NFL
nerds
players
have
are
grown
playing
up.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Nerds are actually cool now. That's another
Yeah.
thing I wanted to bring
Miles,
up. Like,
Miles, oh, sorry.
well, like when we're watching season 1, all the boys are getting made fun of because they're the nerds and they play D&D. Whereas culture now has, I mean, everybody's a nerd and it's okay to be a nerd. Whereas back in the 80s, you would get your head flushed in the toilet.
get your shit rocked.
Yeah.
Get a wedgie.
But like I said, there's people in the NFL that play it now. Miles Garrett plays it.
Yeah, I know.
Plays on the Browns.
And all the actors and stuff that
Yeah.
play it too. So
I mean, it's part of why I was so willing to try when Trevor in Kansas introduced it to us. I only knew what it was from watching that, and I was intrigued because of watching that. Whereas if I hadn't seen it being played that way, I probably would have been more reluctant to play it.
I thought
Yeah,
it
like
was
it
a
sounds
board
like
game.
a LARPing type of deal.
Yeah,
You know?
I thought it was more of a board game too.
Yeah. And well, boy,
It's
was I
not.
wrong.
Yeah, but I remember when Stranger Things
It's
season
a
1 came
lifestyle,
out,
Mom.
I was so excited. Like, I had felt like that was the best TV show I'd ever seen. And, like, it was so cool. And everybody was talking about it. Little to know, like, the industry that would, you know, come out of this. Like, it's blown up. And, like, everybody's watching it. Like, from little kids to grown adults. It's just something that everybody can watch, I think. As long as you like sci-fi. If you don't like sci-fi, I think it's still for you because of the 80s nostalgia.
It was one of the first few like Netflix shows to blow up too,
that's what
wasn't
I
it?
was.
Yeah.
Like it
thinking,
really
yeah.
started all the Netflix original stuff, honestly.
Yeah, and I didn't have a lot of faith in some of Netflix's shows.
Yeah.
There's only a handful that
Well-
I'd really watched, and then like Stranger Things came out, and I was like, this is actually a pretty fucking good show. So
A bunch of things on Netflix is when Stranger Things was one of the first big solely made by Netflix shows. A bunch of things, or what Netflix was doing a lot was,
probably contracting
like
out and
off The
stuff.
Office and that 70s show and all
or
that, stuff.
that and buying, getting the rights to shows that were gonna end, and
Yeah.
then making new seasons
Yeah,
by
Yeah.
Netflix. They were doing that a lot until
Yeah,
they
and
started
then they
making the
would-
originals.
Pee people off because it wasn't, you
I
know.
got
I think they
one
did
show
with
in
Parks and Rec,
Parks and Rec.
but they did pretty good on that. That
Yeah,
was-
they
Yeah.
did.
There was one show that it changes in the middle of like the whole series. I can't remember what it was, but
because Netflix got a hold of it.
yeah, I mean it just changes, and you can tell because it was almost like, because it went from being a TV show that aired on TV to a
Streaming
TV show that
service.
was only on a streaming service, so like it bumped up the quality.
Oh yeah,
and-
I'm sure the money got
And
Yeah.
transitions have to be different on television
Yeah.
than Netflix as well.
you wouldn't have like, obviously you can sit there and watch like The Walking Dead on Netflix and you can tell, oh, there was a commercial at that
Yeah.
point because
right.
Yeah, it, like,
yeah, but
fades
then
out.
Netflix takes control, and it's just
Watching anything on Discovery Plus, you see so many recaps.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh.
we just listened to this and now we're talking about it
Yeah.
again.
ugh.
The Sister Wives epidemic has
Oh my
not
God.
ended.
Haley's
I'm
gonna
so
sneak.
close.
Haley's gonna sneak in Sister Wives
I
from
am,
here on out to
until I'm
everything.
done. But there's like 17 seasons, and I'm on like season 14 now,
Oh my
so I'm
God.
so
I
close.
can't wait. I can't wait. And they're all an hour long.
And I watch a lot of them without them. So
You know, thinking about it too, like Netflix, it's crazy because we're in that generation that have seen so much change. Like
Yes.
our kids are just going to know streaming services, but we know Netflix started, you could rent DVDs off the
Yeah.
internet
Yeah.
and they would mail them to you and you'd
I
mail them
remember-
back.
I remember when I first found out about Netflix, Dink had got got one of the red envelopes in the mail and
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody who did the DVD thing.
I'm pretty sure it was Dink. It was sometime we were
we
at my
didn't do
mom's.
Redbox until like 8 years ago. So
Redbox
remember
is the
Redbox,
redhead
but-
stepchild of movie rentals.
Well, they have a streaming
it's
service
stuff
too.
like
You
that.
can rent their
Yeah, they
movies
do
on
now.
the
Yeah.
app now. So.
But you can't pause them.
Yeah, you're right.
That blows
That's
my
why I use
mind.
Vudu.
How are you gonna rent a movie and you can't pause it, but I can go to the Redbox, get the DVD, and pause it as many times as I want to?
Right.
Break that fucking CD. Do it.
Watch it so many times that it burns the disc.
They really get you though, because like if you don't mail it back in the certain time, they'll keep charging you, and you'll end up paying $80-$90 for one movie,
my
and that's
God.
how they had the money
We
to
were-
start doing what they were doing.
I was at my friend's house, and I know we need to get back on Stranger Things,
So it's
but
like we're about to turn this into a streaming episode.
we were at my friend's house, and we were moving a bunch of stuff out of the room, and I was looking through the drawers, and in the bottom drawer, there was a Redbox movie that they had rented, like, years ago. And I was like, how has nobody noticed that y'all have been charged, like, a lot of money for this one, like,
At a certain point, they
mediocre
stopped
movie?
charging.
I think it's after like $30 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, but you just
Don't
paid
ask me how I know.
$30 for a rental copy of a movie.
That, like, you can't even see the special features on and stuff.
Yeah, you can only menus like chapters, play, and language.
That's one of the things. This is the last thing. When I worked in video, you could buy the movies afterwards for like $5, but they have rental on the front of the cover, and when you
Yes.
open it, it's still the rental copy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you don't get shit else on it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say with Stranger Things that I thought that they did a really good job for the first season
Yeah.
when it comes to developing the characters, because I instantly felt like I was attached to certain characters within the first season, and some shows don't feel like that. I feel like some shows you can go a season, 2 seasons, and still not give two shits about the characters in it. But I felt like
Not
there
know their
wasn't
names.
well, I felt like there wasn't like one character I felt like that about. I felt like other than Barb, but R.I.P. Barb. But I was
I
like,
have totally different feelings.
oh my god. But I feel like there's so many characters, and you're interested in just about every single one of them.
Yeah.
That was me personally, though.
When they did a good job of making a show about kids that wasn't for kids necessarily, like it could have played to both audiences, even though kids were the main characters. And it's totally an 80s vibe to have those kids, like the
Oh, yeah.
Goonies and
Yeah,
Stand
so
By
that's,
Me.
that's
Yeah.
another thing I was going to talk about is how do we feel about content that's like the Boys Who Do Amazing Things plot, like the Goonies, or even like Outer Banks, where it's just a group of kids who are trying to accomplish something that an adult probably couldn't accomplish if they even tried.
Yeah.
Love the Goonies.
So good.
I have
That's probably why I
mastered
like
the Truffle Shuffle.
That's probably why I like Stranger Things so much. I used to watch the Goonies like religiously.
Oh, if I could watch it right now, I would just have it
I
on
should
loop
wa- I should watch
constantly.
it.
It's a good movie.
I have it in there.
That part where they're on the
Guys.
piano, the skull piano. Like,
Yes.
Oh my god.
And the
that's
thing
a
is-
core
Wah.
memory. Yeah.
But
Yes.
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say about like each story arc too. Like I felt invested when it was the group of kids, when it was the older siblings and like Steve and Nancy and them, and then even when it was Hopper and what's the
Well, it's
mom's name?
about
Joyce.
Will, but
Joyce.
Will's not even like your favorite character.
I'll be honest with you. That's the only
annoying.
one. That's probably the only one I didn't care about. But he wasn't in much. Like he was
I
gone.
still don't care about Will.
Up
Yeah,
until
man.
I
season,
don't
His
care about
storyline
Will.
is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm more invested.
He's
This
sitting
is
over there
later,
like,
but I'm more
look.
invested in Lucas than anybody.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I do love Lucas.
Will was on the bottom of my list until
Yeah.
season 4, until someone surpassed him. But it was, I don't like Will.
Yeah, me neither.
And,
I do.
but there's someone I don't like even more than Will. We'll get to that
I guess
when
we'll
it's in
talk about it
season
later.
4.
Okay, so anyways, the series starts off with them playing D&D, a very intense game, and then Will decides to bike by himself all the way home, but on his way home, he gets snatched up by, wasn't it a
A
Demigorgon?
Jabberwocky.
A Demogorgon.
Yeah, it's a Demigorgon.
A Demigorgon.
Jar Jar Binks. Misa Jar Jar Binks.
And so
That'd be wild.
automatically,
Misa, come through this portal with me. No, Jar
You
Jar.
suck gonna die.
Misa gonna be good friends.
Just come right through here. Misa, I love playing. I'm sorry.
He's like, his fucking mouth opens up
Oh
4
my
different
God.
ways.
Isn't the clock bell in the first season?
Yeah.
In the whole show.
Yeah, when in fact, if you
Oh,
go
the
back
clock?
and watch,
Yeah.
which this connects later, but if you
Yeah.
go back and watch it while he is biking down the road, you hear like a big dong dong in the background. So I don't know if they were
That
thinking
is
about that
crazy
before.
how they tied all that in, and it's just like, whew.
I don't
Well,
know.
usually when people have a show, they have the seasons planned out, but
Yeah.
you just don't
Sometimes they
realize what
don't.
all you missed.
Yeah.
Well, I've read about them, and I've read that they did for
did.
this. They
Brothers.
did have it planned out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because most of them, like, they write it as they go.
Yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
Game
though.
of Thrones.
yeah. Well, but Game of Thrones was based on something
I
though.
was about to say.
Well, I know that, but still, they still,
Yeah,
like, wrote
reference
it as they
material.
go. But
In fact, wasn't it the character who played Mike who did a talk show not that long ago where he was talking about a plot line for Stranger Things season 5, and the Duffer Brothers came up to him and said, "How did you know?"
Yeah, I've read about that recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy that he just kind of figured it out, and then they revealed that it was the truth. Like,
Yeah.
I would hate that. But anyways, so then we get to see Joyce freak out, and Joyce is a very concerned mother, and I do appreciate her character because I would go nuts too, I think. And she knew that her son's somewhere out there.
Also, and I feel like Winona Ryder is great for casting this part because she had a lot of movies in the 80s, didn't she?
80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, she kind of fell off, didn't she?
After the 90s. Yeah.
I mean,
I just didn't think she acted much, right?
yeah.
I mean,
not
she was in
good bit.
Beetlejuice, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a 90s movie,
Oh.
right? Beetlejuice came out
She
in
could
the
take
90s.
care
I
of
thought
me. that's
Beetlejuice
all
was
I
like
gotta
late
say.
80s.
That's
Oh,
what I
maybe.
thought. But like,
Let
What'd
that,
you
feel
say,
like-
Trevor?
let that slip through the
Oh,
cracks.
What'd you say?
You'll hear it.
she says she's fine.
No,
Oh.
I said she could take care of me.
Oh.
Same difference.
Yeah. Beetlejuice was 1988.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just feel like this is just me, my uncultured swine self. When I think of old movies, I just see Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice. And like a female actress
There's
from
a
back
few
then.
movies she's in. after
She was
that,
in
but
Edward Scissorhands.
Wasn't that like one of her first roles? Was Beetlejuice?
She was pretty young. in
She
that.
was really young in Beetlejuice.
I don't know if it was necessarily
She's
her.
like
She was in a
65
lot of-
now. I'm just kidding.
She was in a lot of creepy, like sci-fi type movies, though, so
And
it's
then,
kind of
like-
perfect for her to be in this.
Pretty sure there's
series.
some stuff that happened with her too, but I don't know. So I'm
Didn't
not
she
gonna
date
talk
Johnny
about it.
Depp for a while?
Yeah, he had Winona Forever on his body.
Yes.
And now it says like Wino Forever or some shit.
oh no!
I love wine.
He does love wine. He does spend a lot of money on wine.
Johnny Depp.
Yes, like it's almost like $40,000 a month or something like that.
Oh.
It's something
Beetlejuice
crazy.
was her third movie, but her other two were kind of no name. So yeah, it was kind of her first big movie.
I gotcha.
Her first big hit.
Be
And also, what I forgot about was that Hopper was the town drunk, but he was also like the sheriff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell
like,
yeah.
to think about his character development, it went insane after the first
also
season.
my favorite character.
I think
Yeah,
Of
one of
all
mine
of
too.
them.
Yeah.
he's top tier.
Johnny Depp spends $30,000 a month on wine.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot of wine.
He's Johnny
Yeah,
Depp. That's
as quick as
why.
it can, probably.
You know why? Because I've got a job dead.
I mean, after
Okay,
that
so
trial.
what? First season, who's everybody's favorite character? Hopper's y'all's favorite character in the first season?
It'd have to. I
Not
gotta
the
think
first
back.
season.
I was in the Mike and 11 storyline. I'm not
I
gonna
was
lie.
too. For the first season, I think my favorite
Yeah.
character. I don't know. It's split between Mike and Dustin. Dustin started off real
Dustin.
hot
I like
for me.
Dustin's okay.
Dustin. Okay, Dustin.
For the first
started off-
season, I'm talking about for the first season now.
No, I
Dustin's
like
got
Dustin.
that aspect. He's that like. I relate to him a lot. He's that like the chubby kid of the group.
I'm
and
forgetting
he's-
his name, but Steve.
Oh yeah.
Steve.
I
was-
like Steve. I
Everybody
like
hated
he.
Steve in the first one.
Yeah,
until
he's
he-
a hot guy. Obviously not me, but I can relate to him other than the hotness.
I like Steve.
Oh,
I do.
okay.
and
Dang
Hopper
it.
because of the dad.
Yeah,
the dead
Right.
vibe.
Steve and Hopper are like right there, right now.
Oh yeah, I love Steve
Oh,
now.
now,
First
yeah,
season Steve,
but-
I was like,
Steven
fuck
Steve.
that
My-
guy.
That's what I was asking.
All-time favorite meme is the whole Reba opening theme song.
a single mom that works too hard.
Yes.
At the very last, the scene where they're in the shelter and he's like looking at Robin, he's just like shaking his head and he's like throwing the towel over his shoulder. I'm like, that's my boy right there.
Well, that's why I was asking for season 1, because obviously we have characters we love now, but
So
What's the guy with Nancy?
the
Jonathan.
brother.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
It's Will's brother.
Yeah, Will's brother.
he's sus.
Least
in
favorite of all
season
time.
one,
Season 1, I
Still
can
least
see.
favorite. He creeped
I
me out.
related to him because he
Took
is the
nude
ugly
pictures
guy.
of people.
No,
He's the weirdo.
he's a weirdo and like, you know, he's not like
How about we
not
would
the
say-
popular kid in school. So I'm like, oh, I relate to that. But then I'm like,
No.
you know, you kind of weird.
Going back to the picture thing, how about with this though? This man only got off on the picture thing because it was relevant. Imagine if the pictures never would have been relevant. He would have been a
Oh my
fucking creep.
God.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And so, okay. So I.
Okay, refresh my memory though. It wasn't like creepy pictures. It
Yes,
wasn't.
it was.
It
no,
wasn't
he was-
like
She
it
was
creepy pictures.
totally having sex with Steve.
Oh, he took pictures of that.
Like of her getting undressed in the window.
Oh no, that would have never been a pass. My bad.
That's what. Like
That would have
okay,
never been a pass
So-
ever, even if the pictures
One
ended
of
up
the
being
next
relevant.
things
right.
we see is they we get to meet Nancy and Steve, and Nancy's friends with Barb, and she says that she's going over to Barb's house. Barb says she's going over to her house, and they decide to go over to Steve's house. And Barb the entire time is like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to go over there. That sounds not good.
Barb.
Haley's Barb.
Okay,
Barb.
so
You-
Barb
you
is
got
my
some
favorite
Barb
character.
vibes. You look like,
from
yeah,
first
you
season.
and
Barb is your favorite character from first season?
Yes, okay. So I vividly remember in high school, me and my best friend Landon, we went to
It makes complete sense.
We
Haley.
went-
You really ain't gotta explain yourself. I'm just saying.
we went to Zaxby's and we were sitting there and we were talking about I'm a bigger girl. And so we were talking about bigger girl characters. And they always are funny. You know, they have to be the funny big girl. Barb, smart, fashionable, and she's a little thicker than everybody else. And that is why I love Barb. And then they killed her.
Haley just put her hand on her hip. I just want everybody to know that she got into that whole
I got a
thing.
little sassy about it. But honestly, she had so much potential in this series. And they go
Fuck
and
it, kill her.
Got the axe.
Fucking kill her.
and
Like-
Nancy had to go and do it with Steve.
All because of sex. She died because somebody was having sex.
Isn't that the way it always goes? That's
Yep.
typical '80s fashion, also.
Oh.
They did really good with her
I'm-
when
I'm
she
confused, though.
gets snatched up though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the swimming pool.
What gets me, I get she was trapped in the pool, but Barb's a grown woman.
She's not grown.
I mean, she's
She's
growner
not
than
grown.
Will. How does Will survive in the Upside Down?
Because he's hiding.
Yeah.
if he gets
Well, not only that, but
took by the
it kind of seems like
Demogorgon-
there's more to Will. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
be used for something, and Barb was just lunch.
A victim. Yeah. She was a snack.
I don't know.
And she wasn't part of the storyline. That's why she
Right.
died.
Exactly.
Somebody had to die, and it wasn't gonna be Will.
Right.
Of course, they can't keep my favorite characters and things. Anyways, meanwhile, we meet Eleven for the first time, and she is a scared little girl. She's been running through the woods. She finds a restaurant.
Bald.
She gets a man fucking got too.
Not on purpose, though. He called social services because he didn't know what to do with this little
Yeah,
girl.
that is not the worst thing that Elle has done, though. So
So,
we're gonna keep moving right past that one.
Fact of first victim. This man was trying to help this little girl and he got fucking gunned down for it.
That's not her fault though.
I
That
know.
was
I didn't say it was her fault. I just said it happened because of her.
Renner.
This man trying to do the right thing. We're talking about the owner of the diner that she sneaks into.
Gave her that shirt, didn't he?
I think
No.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was helping her out.
He gave her
but
some food.
I mean, it's not like he's Hopper and needs a little girl in his life,
What-
so he was trying to just do
What
the right
are you
thing.
doing if a little girl shows up? She's like buzz cutted head, and she's in like a. I don't know what I would do.
I would call the cops.
I would open
The
the,
same
door.
thing the dude
I mean,
did.
call social
No.
services.
I don't know about y'all. I'm a little more real.
Here's
I'd
a
open
plate.
that door and see
A little
that
bit
and
more
be
what?
like, real.
What, you gonna slam the door on this fucking child's face? Tyler,
Nah, I'm gonna be like,
you're gonna close the door.
I need to go to bed.
Tyler just gonna abandon
I'm,
this child
I'm
that
seeing
needs help.
things. Open it again. She's still there.
You don't need to be worrying about cussing.
doubting yourself, man.
No, but be realistic.
A realistic
I mean,
way
if
would
I saw
help
a
the
little
child.
kid that looked fucked up, I'd be like, "Here's a burger. I'm gonna call the cops."
Right.
I get it.
So if Riley came to your house and she was like,
Buzz cut.
yeah,
buzz
that'd be
cut,
funny. Riley would be
hospital
a whole different
gown,
animal.
like
The first thing
nasty
you're
and gross, I'm gonna be like,
I mean, my first thought would be like, "It's just a kid. I'm gonna keep my eye on her till the cops get here."
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna sit on the couch, and I'm gonna be like,
I'd be like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
what's your
But
name?
Right.
put a Coke can in front of her.
give her a fucking bologna sandwich, see what she does with it.
Yeah,
Y'all just be keeping bologna around?
play the Eggo.
I wish.
Here's some,
Bologna and salami.
here's, here's
it up.
some, here's some toaster waffles.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Eggos. I guess she does do that with Eggos, but
yeah,
is that in the first season?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
They go to the store.
I think that's the second.
No,
season.
that's just
No,
her by
that's-
No,
herself.
she eats the Eggos in the first
Well, that
season.
I saw where
Yeah, because he puts her under the
They feed them, but I'm saying the
feed her
boys
Eggos.
feed her Eggos. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
That's-
I'm
And
talking
she,
about
like,
that one
steals it
scene,
from the
but-
store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they said that like
I
she
think that's
improvised
second
that.
season because she's
Is it?
wearing
I
the
don't
dress and stuff when she steals all that from
Oh,
the
yeah,
store.
they-
It's
Oh,
after
yeah,
her
the second
and-
Well,
season,
she
I
does
think.
wear a dress in the first season.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be the first one. Boom.
Well, I mean, it's. I did see a thing where she was just supposed to grab one, but she improvised and grabbed like 8 boxes of them and like was walking out with it, and they're like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, if
Keep
you're
it in.
robbing a Dollar General for
I
Eggos,
don't know if she didn't really rob it.
I mean,
I mean,
she
she
blew
did.
the doors
Yeah,
open.
she did rob it, but she didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, but if I'm blowing doors open and walking in there and grabbing Eggos, I ain't just leaving one box.
Hell yeah.
right.
She at
Good
least
point.
got the chocolate chip ones. So,
Chocolate chip,
damn.
blueberry.
Yeah, nah, chocolate chip.
Yeah, no, blueberry or strawberry.
Nah,
Blueberry
strawberry.
smacks.
Strawberry
I'm
and
with
chocolate
Trevor
chip.
on this one.
Chocolate chip.
I don't even
Yeah.
want. That sounds like that just
sounds
makes
like
my
blueberry
stomach
Blueberry
hurt.
or strawberry?
I don't want fruit in my
I'm
sugar
already
snack.
putting sweet ass syrup
Sugar
on it.
snack?
You know, tangent. We should. We
She
should have
eats them
a little,
frozen.
A little doodle for tangents. People who post their pancakes or waffles with actual blueberries in them, I'm like, nah, bro. I want that blueberry pellet in there. That's just a blue
Yeah.
pellet of blueberry flavor.
Everybody don't have Waffle House like we do.
We don't. No, you
You
can
get
go
the
to
fucking
Walmart.
peanut butter
If you go to Walmart,
chips. Where the fuck I need to get some of those.
You
We
can
need to
get those
some
at
of
the grocery
We need
store.
to get some of them. things.
Peanut butter
Um,
chips.
Yeah, those little peanut butter.
can
We
go to-
walk over here and Trevor's got a whole handful
You know,
of peanut butter chips.
Great Value sells a big box of waffle pancake mix, and it's like all you do is add water or milk to
We
it.
got a giant box in there.
Yeah, well, right next to it now they have blueberry. And I was making waffles the other day, or pancakes. I'm pouring it in there, and then I have the powder because we have it put in one of those little seal containers, and I'm just picking the blue pellets out of
Gross. Gross.
He does these things when I'm not home. Okay.
Exactly. I had that day off.
Haley's coming home and like, man, I'm gonna make me some blueberry pancakes.
She
And
won't.
there's nothing in there.
We
I
have
only
we
eat
have
chocolate
one we have one
pancakes.
with regular pancake
Make
mix,
it worth
and we have
it.
one with blueberry.
I'm a chocolate fiend though. Like even like muffins, I want chocolate muffins.
Don't get this girl around Rolos.
All right, Trevor. I've added bologna, salami, and peanut butter bacon chips onto the grocery list for
That's
next
right.
week.
I'll make a sandwich with all those.
Gross.
Peanut butter, salami, bologna sandwich.
Trevor be in the kitchen making potions.
We meet 11. She's traumatized. She likes waffles. Same. And she ends up running away. We good? I thought I heard something.
No,
Okay.
that's me talking to the cat.
Anyways,
Anyways, she ends up running away from the bad men and goes basically straight on over to Mike. And that's where our love story starts.
I love you, 11. That's like way later.
It's
Sorry.
super cringy.
Yeah.
There's two little kids that are, you know.
You and Haley aren't fucking cringy?
We're married.
Yeah, exactly. But for how many? How long y'all been married?
Says
Fucking
the single
2 months?
person.
3 months?
Wow.
Exactly. Fuck
Why
you,
you
Tyler.
throw
What's
shade
that
like
supposed to
that?
mean?
Y'all are cringy. I know you're cringy as fuck, Tyler. Don't be talking about cringy.
His nose is flaring.
Because he knows he is.
I don't know.
You know when we
You
do our
do
little
know.
baby talk to each other?
There you go.
Every couple has that.
Yeah.
Me and Scott don't do that. I'm sure we do something that's cringy, but we don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, every couple's got their thing.
No,
Oh
I know.
my
I know Tyler be
goodness.
cringy because he's just like me, and I'd be cringy too.
Own it,
I know
T.
it. Yeah. Motherfucker getting red over there.
Okay,
Got them
something.
pencil lips over there.
Not the pencil lip.
At least I don't look like Rockefeller, the old oil guy. Go look at a picture of him right now. That man look like this. Look. What's his name? Something Rockefeller. Sorry.
Okay, anyways. So 11 is now living at Mike's house. And I guess his parents never go in the basement. I don't understand.
Yeah, they never need anything out of the basement.
They're like, that's for the kids. We won't ever go down there. Which, by the way,
Told you.
we're
You
looking
ain't
at
far
a
off
picture of
from it, Tyler.
Rockefeller, but
I'm not either, but I keep fucking at least a handlebar on. So
Hey, I'm working on it.
a handlebar?
No, a mustache.
it's so light you can't even tell it's there.
Jeez.
It's so cute, babe. You're adorable.
Hey, you ain't got what I got. This ain't got that beast over here.
that ain't caterpillar trying to sleep.
It's just
Hanging
swamp.
off a branch.
It's
I'm
just
personally
sitting-
jealous.
right.
When I walked in the
And
other
no,
day
wait,
and I
look.
saw Trevor's message, I went, "No, you did."
And I
No,
did, and it
no,
works for
we
me though.
walked
That's
in
the
and
thing.
She didn't notice, and I was like, "Look at Trevor's face." And Haley
I
looks
said
over.
it to Tyler. Tyler was like, Jesus. But if I was to like cut this off right here, it'd be a no go.
You look like
But
Freddie
with
Mercury.
this, I got it.
So anyway,
You might
Like-
like, just cut that out.
Like
no,
quiet
why are
with
we
that.
keeping that?
like Aunt Carla said, you look like Casey off Yellowstone.
That was before I shaved
Oh, my bad.
because I looked it up. Casey got a lot of other stuff going on, but
So, Mike's parents just don't show up in the basement. She's living down there under like a table, like in this little fort that they've made.
I messed up again.
Mike's mom's kind of hot too.
My favorite character.
No, you're not gonna say it.
is Mike's dad.
No, he's the worst.
That's pretty great.
He is the worst.
The
I mean, he's
whole
such
time-
a typical dad.
Yeah.
The whole time, hey, we're watching it. Haley's like, Mike's dad is just like the worst dad in the world. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, this man is providing for his family. He's had a long day at work and he's got to come home and deal with these meddling kids. And if the man wants to sit on the couch and watch his soaps, let him sit on the couch.
No, but
Read
he
his
has
paper.
no marriage life. Like at least
That's
like
true.
with that 70s
Well,
show Red
he
and
has
Kitty.
2 kids, so he has a marriage life.
No, I mean,
3.
I was about to say his marriage life kind of goes to
Yeah,
crap, but
3.
that turns in.
Into season.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had a marriage life. His wife wouldn't have been trying to fuck Billy the Kid over there. And like,
Hey,
season
hold on.
three.
I was
Billy.
just saying, I'm jumping ahead here.
I mean, it is Billy. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know he's Australian.
Australian.
Doesn't matter.
He's got a Tadja.
That's British. Waiting for my
He ain't
next.
got no business looking like that. Fuck
Waiting
that
for
man.
my next tucker.
Trevor, you mad?
Hell yeah, I'm mad. Everybody should be
What
mad.
are you talking about? This dude is a Dollar Tree Zac Efron.
Are you kidding me?
This man looks just
Tyler,
like
you
Zac
are
Efron.
We're
on
talking
the
about
wrong
Billy, but he
side. That
doesn't
is
show up
wrong,
until
bro.
season 2, so.
You are wrong.
Sophia
You
never
are
watched it. I'm so
wrong
sorry.
about that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll get our chance to talk about him later.
Yeah. So we learned that Elle has superpowers because she is levitating little toys in Mike's room. I think they were even Star Wars.
They were. It was
action
the Millennium.
figures.
It was the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
She's also got a.
It was like an ET moment, honestly.
Yes, it was very nice.
also
Very
got a
good.
horrible nosebleed problem.
Yeah.
You need to get that checked out.
Can relate.
Just training too hard. Start having nosebleeds.
Like, just be having nosebleeds.
Trevor being
Waking
there,
up with
Still-
blood all over the
Trevor
fucking
being there
pillow.
taking a horrible shit and it's just running down his nose.
That's definitely not how those nosebleeds happen.
I've never had a nosebleed.
So, Jonathan's creepy.
Hell yeah.
Let's just talk about that. He likes to take pictures of naked people, and Nancy's
doesn't?
okay with it. Steve is. If you go back and look at Steve, I mean, he's the butthole of the first season, but he does have redeeming qualities already. Like, he is sticking up for Nancy and being like, Jonathan, you're creepy. I'm destroying your camera. But
I mean, honestly, they make him out to be a douchebag, but if you found out some dude was taking naked pictures of
I
your
would do the
girlfriend, I'd
same
smash his
thing.
camera too.
yes.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, but everybody has to take Jonathan's side because his brother's gone.
You better develop those.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna break your camera.
He had. I think that's how they found out was he was developing.
Takes,
No, but
he
At
takes the
school,
film
yeah.
out and throws the camera down. How dare you?
You know how
Pockets it.
Creep.
The fuck? What?
you know how this show sets up Jonathan. Jonathan's supposed to be the guy that you want Nancy to be with because Steve's the douchebag and everything else, and that's what the angle that they try and go with it. Even though Jonathan's actually a kind of a creeper and
Very much a creeper.
yeah.
But yeah, and so then we get into the storyline of Joyce putting up the Christmas lights because she's already gone through like 8 phones at this point trying to talk to Will. And she realizes she can talk to him through lights.
Holy crap.
And does like a whole
Imagine
like
that.
Ouija board deal
Picking up
It's pretty iconic.
Your
That's like a
phone
really
ringing?
cool.
way of doing it.
Yeah, it's like a really cool, just visual.
your
Just like
kid's gone missing, like vanished in thin air, and your phone rings, and it's like, Mom.
I'd
Well,
probably
I mean,
throw up.
on the
honestly,
floor.
I can relate all of these
Poop or throw up,
situations
either one.
to an
Tyler
80s
pooped,
movie.
Trevor throw up.
Yeah.
Like Poltergeist. That happens in Poltergeist. They can hear their daughter. She gets like sucked in the TV or some shit. I can't remember. But
That's
they
the
can
ring.
hear her. They can hear her throughout the house and like through different, like through the TV
Oh
and shit.
no.
That's what
a
I'm saying, like-
that's a nightmare. If that
No.
happened to me, I'd be fucking insane.
I'm gonna be like-
you would, yeah,
Yeah.
I would be insane.
I'm gonna be like, look, babe, she's gone. Let's move.
Your child
Let's get out of here.
Then she shows up at the door with a shaved head, and Tyler's like, nope.
no, she'll be trying to talk to you through the TV, and Tyler will be like, "Nope," click it off.
Tyler clicks it off. Said we're moving. Tyler moves like 3 states away. That's Tyler. That's Tyler.
Oh, Ari just scared
I
the
feel bad for the kids.
nuts out of me.
Did
Was
Ari
she
just
standing
walk
there?
out of the
Yeah,
room?
she went to the bathroom.
She walked into the bathroom, and I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. And
Because we're talking about creepy kids.
yes. Or I'll be like, they're in the walls.
Yeah. My God, he's in the walls.
So just to add to all of Tyler's stuff, if y'all ever have a kid, Tyler's abandoning them if they get abducted and get taken
If
into the fourth
anything
dimension.
if
Tyler's
anything
out.
creepy happens, Tyler's done.
Tyler's
Tyler's
out.
not helping that kid.
Yeah.
I'm so
dipping.
glad he doesn't wake up when I do in the middle of the night because I go and check all the doors. I'm a brave woman.
Haley's like, I hope you know. I woke up at 12 o'clock last night, and I had to check all the doors because I was afraid someone was in the house. And I'm like, when? You were
Because-
asleep.
And Tyler was kind of talking in his sleep, so that first of all woke me up. And so when you're going,
night.
I'm like something's happening.
It was just...
Can you imagine your kid could be Tyler's kid could be on the TV and be like, "Dad, I need your help. This is specifically what you need to do."
Like an
Unplugged.
Al
And
Qaeda video.
Tyler's gonna pick up the remote and go.
SpongeBob.
He's gonna change the channel.
It's gonna pop up in SpongeBob. Tyler's gonna walk up and just unplug the TV.
He's
Go
gonna
get in my...
sleep.
Go get, in the
Get his
truck,
car and just drive.
drive. Haley calls me. Where you at? Atlanta. Why are you in Atlanta? Where are you going? Wherever my gas runs out at.
My God. Okay, so I'm glad that that Joyce, that she went bananas and trusted her instincts because if not, we wouldn't have the plot of the show.
I mean, yeah, it made for good.
She
It was good writing.
like the boys knew there was something supernatural happening. Like they could feel it, but Joyce is the one who figured it out. She was like, he's in another dimension.
Props for that boy, Will. When I was at that age, if that ever happened to me,
I probably would have killed myself. I'm
and
just
my
gonna let
mom
you know right
put
now.
Christmas lights up and put paint on the wall and was like, spell it out, it's gonna be. They're gonna say.
What kind of special person is on this other
gonna
dimension?
think they're gonna think it's some anomaly because they're like, it doesn't even spell out real words, and I'm over here trying to figure out how to spell. Fuck. It just
Right.
keeps saying hop. Hop.
We should
That'd be
do.
funny.
We should just
We
replace.
need a sketch.
Yeah,
We need to do a
and just
sketch
let
for that.
Tyler be in it as Will.
Give me the little bowl cut.
This is
Trying to
some
spell
concept.
beautiful. B. The only way I know how to spell beautiful now is I learned it about a year ago. Is BEA beautiful?
That's
From Bruce Almighty?
Yeah,
Look.
Bruce
Yeah.
Almighty.
This is skit material. As soon as we start making skits, we're making this one. All right, we're gonna post it.
I
want
would
everybody
write
to
it
know.
down because it'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Mental note.
Hey, I want to say about that, like when she does all that, it's actually a really cool scene when she's ripping into the wall and she rips behind the wall and you can see like the fourth dimension.
Yeah, it's
and
so
like you
creepy.
see him kind of coming through it and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool scene. I mean, that's when the Demogorgon comes out of the wall, but it was still
Yeah, that-
cool how it was normal. And then she started ripping away at the wallpaper, and then behind it is like the fourth dimension wall, and it's like all nasty.
Say the
and
upside
shit.
down.
Yeah,
I mean, the upside down is really cool because,
Because it's upside down.
It ain't
well,
upside
no,
down.
no, because from what I can remember, like, and this is kind of like a personal experience, but
You've been to the
we
upside down.
no in D&D we have with the Shadowfell, and the Shadowfell is a dimension in D&D that's like it's parallel to the material plane, which is just our plane, and it's pretty much just the Shadowfell's like gray and it's void of color, and it's very much the upside down, and it's almost like whenever I picture the Shadowfell, Stranger Things has made it to where I feel like it's almost like the upside down, like it's just a reverse of what it is, and everything's gray and it's like ash falling everywhere.
Yeah.
It's always like they've kind of like permanently made my mind. That's what the Shadowfell looks like, and every
That's
time I picture it, that's what I picture. Like Stranger Things definitely influenced me on that, and it's like really dope just to think about. Like even in D&D, when you go to the Shadowfell, that's what I feel like it is. Like it's the upside down. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you just flip, and which the Feywild adds another thing to it, but with the Shadowfell, it's like you flip and you're in this like dark dimension that's full of like fear, and it's just like
Creepiness.
Well, they're going
creepiness
to,
and everything.
The right side up next season. So
Is that the Feywild? They should make it look like
I'm just
Feywild.
kidding.
I was just talking out of his ass.
That'd be what up. If they added the Feywild in it, that'd be
We're
what
going to the right side up, and they're in heaven. They all just die.
God.
up. It does sound like the Feywild.
So one thing I forgot about that happened in season 1 is that Hopper goes to the lab because he figures out that the lab has something to do with this, and I think it was because he found the part of the dress, right? That he knew that it was like,
Something led him there,
yeah.
but I can't remember exactly what it was.
And so he basically sneaks in and then finds our portal, and that's the first time we see like a portal out.
Yeah,
in the
because
open.
this lab has been working on this stuff. This is where all the weird stuff happens with Hawkins and stuff like that, and it's pretty crazy, some of the stuff that you learn about this lab and what goes on in it.
Yeah, which got some intense Resident Evil vibes.
Yeah.
Well, like Resident Evil always, which I'm playing Resident Evil 4, and I've played 2 and 3. And like, you start off in like, whatever, like a city or doing this, like Raccoon City, or you start off in a village, but you always end up, you always end up in a like not futuristic, I guess it's like futuristic, but like a high-tech lab. And
Right.
that's always like really cool to go from like this, and they always kind of move you in. Because I just got to the point in Resident Evil 4 where you're Leon and the lasers pop up like from the movie, and like you have to dodge all of them. And I just think it's really cool. Like you go from like this crappy village or this it's not like crappy city, but you go from like normal to like these high tech labs, and that's where everything happens. And that's what Stranger Things, like, now that I'm thinking about it, it like just popped up in my head, but that's kind of like what they did with it. You got like the Hawkinsville, and then you go to this high tech lab that's like hidden down below. It's got some Resident Evil vibes to it, like legit.
Hawkinsville.
What's it
It's
called?
just Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Oh, my bad. Whatever. Same thing.
Hawkinsville, Georgia.
Where did I get
Yeah.
Hawkinsville?
Because there's a Hawkinsville, Georgia.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I feel like I've seen that on something else.
The Hawkins trailer park in the Upside Down was filmed in Griffin.
Well, we should
Was
say
it
that. No.
Yes.
No, in Jackson. The Upside Down
I
is
said it
in
was
Jackson.
All right, hold on. This is jumping way ahead, but
It's
that's
in
kinda
Jackson.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
They
cool.
film a lot of it in Jackson.
That's cool.
Yeah, the high school, the gym and all that, and the high school and stuff's in Georgia too.
I think the house is in like
The whole
Conyers
thing is
or
pretty
something like
much
that.
filmed
Yeah.
in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they were talking about the trailer park from the Upside Down was filmed in, I saw Griffin, but
Yeah,
I was like,
you're right. There is a part where that is.
They were
yeah.
like Griffin, and I was like, well, they didn't have to change much.
Yeah, they ain't gotta do much, but just put a
Change
filter
a
on it.
Yeah. A little lighting.
Yeah.
Change
guy
Put the
who
light a
owns-
little bit. Put a gray sky in the background.
Yeah.
Wait for
The
a
guy
rainy
who
day.
owns the trailer park walks out. All right, guys.
Just act
Keep
normal.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Between 12 and 9, stay inside. There was going to be, Stranger Things are going to come film. Why do you clean up? No.
No.
If we touch something, they're going to go
To Jackson.
They're going to go to Butts County.
We need to keep it here.
Yeah.
Just keep living trashy.
Yeah. You over there. Put a mattress on your front porch.
That mattress you had last week, put it back out.
Yeah. It's at the landfill. Go get it.
Go get it.
Oh my god. So, anyways, so Hopper finds the lab, and then we kind of get into the flashbacks from 11. Like, you hear her talking about Papa, which is why. Okay, so Tyler's nickname at home for the animals is Papa. And so it starts.
Gross.
That's something
Cringy?
cringy.
Yeah. So this is the cringy shit we're talking
But it's
about.
because I would always look at Tyler and I would be like, "You are like Papa."
Oh,
God.
I'd be like, for real? I'm that psychotic son of a...
And so, anyways, that's just Tyler's name now. So I guess if he becomes a dad one day, he'll just be Papa still. But because of Stranger Things. So, anyways, we see some of the flashbacks, and it also kind of, I saw a lot of theories about it paralleling with like some of the messed up research they did back in the 80s with kids
MK
and
Ultra?
adults. Yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
And,
that shit would still be going on, bruh. CIA be wildin'. I ain't gonna get into it.
No.
messing them up with like
95%
electric
of the
shocks
CIA is the accounting department.
Oh, according to
Learned
Hey
that-
Babe.
That from Hey Babe.
But anyways, I just thought that was really interesting that that this guy is basically just breeding kids down there to, I mean, and we learned about this later on about his intentions. But I mean, as far as we know, Elle just has to like kill people to get out of the hair,
Yeah.
which is crazy that she has that kind of power in the first place. Nancy and Jonathan go looking for a portal, and they try to go kill a Demogorgon, but it does not work out.
It's Steve's there too, right? They try to burn it.
Yes.
I think they try and catch it on fire in the house.
They end up going to Will's house, and that's where they kind of catch it to try to burn it.
Because I think Steve's following them because Steve has figured out that like Nancy and Jonathan have been hanging out, and
That
so
they're not just like trying to make out all
Right.
the time.
Isn't that when he comes out with the bat?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like,
But that's what I'm saying. They're all three there together when they like catch this thing on fire and like everything.
Mess it up. and that's when everything starts to kind of go downhill. That's they take Oh, I forgot to mention that. Sorry, I'm gonna go back a little bit. That that they find Will's body in this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
yeah.
earlier. That is like the most fucked up part of the
Sorry.
whole season.
Yes, that just
Oh
hit
yeah,
my head.
it's stuffed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that is honestly like creepy conspiracy theory CIA shit. Like that really creeped me out when I saw it.
It's like
on
a
the show.
fake body. Yeah,
It
which
is
is
a-
crazy.
But it looks identical to Will.
No, I know. That's what's crazy.
But they stuffed it, and it's so creepy.
And they have to don't they sneak back in the morgue to just make sure? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
that's what
They
Hopper
cut it.
does.
Like
He-
I think they like cut it open, and it's
Hopper
stuffed. There's
does.
no
He
organs.
cuts it open and it's just cotton on the inside.
Which
of it.
imagine if it
I
really
do
was
not
Will,
remember
how
that.
bad
Yeah.
would he
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah, they find it floating in the quarry.
That's like
yeah,
a
they
big
try to make it out
thing.
like he
Or the
drowned.
little gorge or whatever.
I remember
they
it a
find
little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, but they had just talked about the gorge, or they had just searched the gorge and didn't find anything, and all of
Right,
a sudden
all
a
of a
day
sudden a body
later they're
popped up,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
It was really weird because like the government was like holding the body and being really sus about it.
What
Makes
that was-
sense.
Yeah.
That was
Sounds like
closer
some
to the
fucking real
beginning-
life.
Loyal to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
loyal.
Conspiracy
That was
moment
Bro,
tonight.
way
I'm on it,
closer
bro.
to the
I've been
beginning
on
of
it
the
for
season
3
because
years now.
they have the whole big fight. Jonathan and Joyce have the big fight sitting in the square because just when she was freaking out doing all this, and they were like, "We buried him. We had his funeral."
Right, but she's not convinced because of all
Yeah.
the stuff going on. Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, she looked at it and was like, "That's not my son."
that happened. Like
Tyler be like, "That's him. Put him in the ground.
Yeah.
Let's forget about it.
Get rid of him.
Let's get rid of
that's
it.
my boy.
That's my boy. Put him in the ground."
Unplug the light.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, get home. Phone rings. Hello.
Click.
I'm any dad from any like scary movie where they're like, "Honey, look at our child." He's like crawling on all fours, and I'm like,
Kids will be kids.
yeah. They're like, he's
Hey,
crawling
cut
on
that
the.
shit out.
He's athletic.
We're going to get him play
He's
football one day.
flexible.
The walls are talking and moving. Hey, look, babe, you're just seeing.
You're
stuff.
fucking crazy. You
We
just
got this
gaslight.
house
Haley,
at
you're
a
just gonna be
good
gaslighting the
price.
whole time.
I told you to quit drinking all that wine at night.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp.
Come
That's
sleep,
because of
son.
fucking Johnny Depp. You watch that devil boy over there.
Yeah. Look, honey, he's fine. Come to bed. Yes, Papa. I guess he broke in our Marlboros again.
Just trying to rationalize everything.
Yeah. It was like-
Tyler just needs to be a redneck dad in a scary movie.
Yeah, he does.
yeah.
He just
All right,
de-escalates.
now you go poop out in the woods.
Yeah. Go take a shit out there. Come on back when you feel better. All right.
Just wipe that toilet paper right across
Yeah.
your forehead.
Now you don't come back until you're better. Now you stay out there all night.
What? Our toilet just walked away. Well,
I
we
guess
got
you
a
didn't want to
toilet
be here.
outside.
Yeah.
You can pee and poop in the woods.
It's called nature.
Yeah.
We got this house for like $4.
Yeah. I bought this house for $4 at the Goodwill. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Dad, there's literally a ghost standing right there.
That's Bill. He's our neighbor. He's our roommate.
Projection.
That's like the Honey Boo Boo parody that the college did.
Oh, Precious Plum.
Yeah.
Precious Plum is competing to be Little Miss Skittle Tits in the back of a broke down Waffle House. It's so stupid.
Anyways, so back to when everything is going like downhill, they figure out that if you put 11 in a little salt bath and you know,
Deprivation tank.
Boil
Yeah.
the water,
Homemade.
you have a pretty good soup.
they get all the salt from the school and put her in a tub, and she goes to try to find Will because Hopper and Joyce are going through the portal to go find him and save him. And while all this is happening, Eleven's trying to get murdered by the agents as well, and she's losing all of her power.
Well, hold on. You find out that your favorite character is no more when she's in in the tank.
Yes, you find out Barb's dead.
For real dead though, like dead.
Like gone.
Like gone.
So
Ain't she
sad.
wrapped up in a cocoon?
Oh, she's messed up.
She's
She's
Yeah,
got slugs coming out of her mouth.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah, it's pretty gruesome.
It's pretty hot.
And then in the middle of all this, you get a little bit of kissing action from Eleven and Mike. They finally get a little smoochy.
Oh, ain't that
Gross.
cute?
And then they end up getting Hopper punches Will in the chest and wakes him back up just in time. Which is exactly how I remember it. Because Hopper, he thinks that's what's going to save him because he remembers his kid dying, but he didn't punch his kid. I don't know why.
It's kind of it gets messed. It gets a little dark right there when it shows the flashbacks of Hopper and his kid.
Yeah.
Because his kid
Yeah, just take a dad that's
passed away from cancer and stuff like that.
just like Joel. Take a dad that had a fucked up story with his kid. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
instantly relate and love that man. Like,
Going back to
God
the punch.
damn.
I grew up like
Uh-oh.
if something's not working right,
You
smack
punch
it. Smack it. Like
including children.
no,
That's part of his redneck scary movie.
I don't know. That's something I do. It's like TV's not working. Bop bop bop.
Smack it hard enough.
Yeah, you gotta make sure. You gotta tap it a few times. Hit it.
Yeah.
Little
Make sure, because that leaves you a whole lot of work that you don't gotta do if you can hit it and it starts working again. Yeah, you gotta take it apart. Yeah, you gotta do
Look,
it. You just hit it and it
This
goes
is
back to
going
normal.
back to the reasons why Tyler shouldn't have a kid. His kid's gonna come in there one day and be like, "Dad, I'm not feeling well," and he's just gonna punch him in the gut and be like, "Does that feel
No.
better?"
I'm gonna ask him. If
Actually, it does.
I'm gonna ask him. Well, have you pooped today?
And then he's gonna punch him in the gut.
Or you could do like Major Payne and be like, well, I'll just cut your finger off and that'll hurt worse.
Throw you through.
So then a Demogorgon shows up at a school and 11 looks around and says goodbye. And she
That's it.
Just like that, sass and all.
Deuces.
Goodbye.
and
Bit dramatic.
leaves. She's gone.
She explodes into starry
She
mist.
kills the Demogorgon,
Yeah.
quote unquote. And then
I don't think that it's a Demigorgon. I think it's a Demogorgon.
Yeah, I keep
Okay,
calling it
excuse
Demi.
me.
but
Demogorgon.
It's a Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
Which-
It's also Padme to me, so.
A Demogorgon. The Demogorgon in D&D is way
Yeah, it looks completely different.
worse. Way worse than the one in Demogorgon is a demon lord, and it does way more than that. But I get why they do it because they got to
They-
name it.
I mean, they
something.
name it.
like
that.
what,
name it
like
that
what
they're
else?
playing
Yeah,
D&D.
but
Right.
yeah, they're playing D&D, and that's what they face. Which goddamn, they're facing the Demogorgon. What the fuck are they doing in D&D?
Well, that's
It's
like
in
They
the
got to be
second
like
one.
in game, bruh.
The second one. He hits the Mind Flayer, but it looks nothing like a Mind Flayer.
Oh, the Mind Flayer ain't nothing compared to a Demogorgon.
Yeah.
To the Demogorgon.
Wow.
Demogorgon's a demon lord.
We
You
also-
just don't know about demon lord. We gotta get into it. That's got to be an episode.
I don't think we
in
got into
D&D.
Brenner much of this. Like Brenner, the Dr. Brenner, he had like a part.
Papa?
Yeah, and then he dies.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because he gets attacked by the Demogorgon.
I tell you, I'm one person to sit there and be like, I bet you that man's alive. I was like, it jumps on him, then it cuts, and I'm like, he's alive.
If you don't
it's
see-
not now, it's like 4 seasons from now.
Y'all know how TV shows work, though. If you don't see the body, there's a
Hell,
potential
sometimes
they're
if you
still
see
alive.
the body, they found some way to bring him back.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Game of Thrones, you don't see the body, but you know that fucking Marjorie's dead.
They got blown the fuck up.
Well, I mean, that's like Jon Snow. You saw the body. You saw him like laying
Yeah.
on the slab.
Yeah, but you saw him.
Yeah,
they
you
bring
knew
him
he was
back.
coming back, though. You knew it.
I knew it, but it still made
Oh,
me
well, I was
angry.
gonna
Or
say
that's
is
like,
earlier.
dang it, is it Thomas from Game of Thrones?
Thomas.
Not Thomas.
Is that
Tommen?
the butcher's boy?
Tommen, the one that falls out of the
Tommen.
window. Yeah, Tommen. You don't see his body, but he did.
That's implied.
Well, it's just like
I
those
think you
are
do see it.
situations you cannot survive. Like it's over.
So, does anybody have any last thoughts about Stranger Things season 1?
They make
Pretty
you,
good. I should probably watch 3 and 4. I haven't watched them yet.
Well, you have time.
At the end of season
Well,
1, though.
All I do is watch YouTube like a fucking weirdo. So.
Same.
Which I mean, I guess I don't know if you've never seen it before. I guess spoiler alert, but they make it appear that like Elle is gone.
Yeah.
That she's disappeared with the Demogorgon and stuff like that. So who
Yeah, but don't
knows?
they show Hopper leaving the office for her?
Yeah, at the very end of it, you see Hopper going outside and leaving like Eggos for her outside and like a
When you
box.
see Will too, Will has that weird moment in the bathroom where he like fills the thing.
No, that's true. You
Like to
see-
lead
The
into
hair
the mind
stands
flayer
up,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that there's
Or he
still some weird
grabs
shit
his
going on
neck.
with Will.
Or
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, that's. Never mind. No. No, doesn't he cough up a
He
dang
coughs up a
slug?
slug.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's
Yeah.
some weird
Yeah.
shit
Like
going
he's
on
got
with
the
him.
upside down inside of him.
Right.
Oh, that's upside down ussy.
Upside down Uzi.
But
Can't
that's
resist
not how
that
it ends.
upside down Uzi.
It gives you something you stuck with. For the rest of your life.
Jeez.
Thank you all for listening to Stuck in a Side Quest. I hope y'all all enjoyed listening to what we had to say about Stranger Things Season 1. If you don't mind leaving a little comment on how you felt about it, maybe we'll shout you out in the next episode. I don't know. We'll see. Please like us on everything, subscribe to us, share us, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.